Welcome to the season finale of Behind the Beat with your boy, you know it's Ike. This is the end of season 1, baby. We are on the last song of my feature presentation, volume 1. This is Black Jeans featuring Quezt. Shout out my boy Quezt, old Anthony boy. So this series has been super fun. I've really liked making these behind the beats. I will be doing more, I promise, but I'm going to take a break for a while. It's a lot to record these. It takes forever for me to edit these. I really enjoy doing it, but I need a little break so that I can promote my new song coming out very soon. So I'm excited for that, so stay tuned for details on that. So this is Black Jeans, the final song on my last EP, so let's get into it.
All black jeans, so you walk your way. You get love anytime you say.
So this song is really a heartbreak song. If you listen to the lyrics, it's really sad, both what Quezt and I are saying on it, yet I wanted it to sound like pretty aggressive. You'll hear that in the production, but I wanted to express like, hey, I'm hurt. The story of the song is actually based on true events, so there you go. So I started with like a very mellow piano. So you'll see a couple ideas I've grayed out and muted here. I was coming up with different ideas and ended up with the one that is in the final song, but I added even more effects so it's all bounced out. So it looks a mess, but just trust the process. So I started with this piano right here. And then I do some fading to get out of those effects, and it leads up into the original piano that I played right here. So it's a cool chord progression. I don't know if I've mentioned it here before, but everything that you hear on this stuff is me playing it, like on the keyboard. I make pretty much everything from scratch. I'll use little samples here and there, but I really don't like making samples. I don't want to worry about clearing them if I have to, and I want to make everything as original as possible. So anytime you see any MIDI up on here, I've played it. Anytime you see any audios that are like for the drums and stuff that are placed in certain spots, I place those specifically for a reason. I use drag and drop, which a lot of people hate, but it's the way my brain thinks and the way the thought process goes. So yeah, just want to let you know. Anyways, while the main piano is playing, I have this little sweep going to kind of emphasize what I was saying in the song. And then the only other melody that's going on here in the second half of my verse, I have the same piano just on a higher octave. So that plays with that. And then we get into the heavy hook. The first thing that happens is the sweep, but I added a lot of effects to it to make it sound pretty robotic. And then I wanted to create like this like rock orchestra. So I have like heavy guitar, which I'll show you right here. So I messed with the effects on that to give it like a really gritty sound. And then I added some like actual like orchestra instruments with it. So this is a viola right here. I worked so long on finding the right sounds for those instruments and guitars and stuff. Like it took me forever, more time than I'd like to admit, but it came out like how I wanted it to sound. So here's the violin. Really the violin is there to create some sweep, like emphasizing, like sweeping in with the music. Along with that, I have this 808 underneath. So that's it melody-wise for the first half. It's really sparse to kind of give room for the lyrics on that part. We'll get into the drums here. So this is the kick I used. Snare on the 2 and 4. I added a sweep from before that I have going throughout the whole song. I don't know why it's not showing up on here, but that audio's there. Then I have the same sound falling right after it. Except I took out the transient at the beginning of it for the reverse part. That's really it for the first half. The second half of the hook, I added this synth right here. Then it goes into verse 2, which is Quest's part. For that part, I brought back the original piano, but I just made it a little bit louder on the velocity now. And then I kept the viola from the hook. I got the 808 going. I had the same kick and snare samples from the hook, but I did switch up the pattern on the kick. Snare is just on the 2 and 4 still. A little more complicated, and then I added this little hat. Halfway through the verse, I add another one of those robotic transitions. At that time too, I add in one little other snare sample just to help with the transition. For the second half of his verse, I added that high part of the piano back in. I had little cuts in between to transition, and then it goes right back into the hook. For the last hook, the song is pretty short overall. I did switch up the pattern of the 808, so it's pretty similar, but I just added a lot more notes in there. The hook pretty much plays out the same as the first time. The one difference was like I had like a post hook, I guess, with new words. So what I did was I created this transition where it cuts from the music. I'll break it down and then I'll play it all together. But what I did was add another violin, 4 staccato notes. Everything kind of follows that. Here's the other violin with the legato sound. Same notes, and then here's the viola. Made the guitar do the chords right there too. And then the 808. The kick is doing the 4. The random snare from before, and then I added a clap on top of that to make it even beefier. That was hard to find a sound right there because I was trying to make it stand out, give it something like really punchy, but here's what it sounds like all together. Going into the final hook with that transition. A lot of the same stuff from before. Then I ended the song with a very mellow piano like the start of the song. Very light percussion just to emphasize what I was saying in the words. And that's really it. Pretty basic production overall, but what makes this song complicated is that I was like shaping it to what was going on in our verses and hooks. The song has a deeper meaning than what it may appear to be. I haven't really told anyone this, but this song is the final song of the Feature Presentation album, but it's really the transition song into a future project, and I'll give more details about that in the future. But I've had this kind of planned out for a while, this story. I think I wrote this song a year or two before it dropped, and I was talking to my buddy Anthony about it way beforehand. He knew about it, but I finally made the production within the year before release. So it finally came together. I got the idea. There's a lot of double meanings. This song is very, very personal, and it's like people don't realize the full meaning, but it'll probably come out in the future project that I'm talking about. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's coming soon. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. This has been super fun, this first season of Behind the Beat. I've been wanting to do these for a while. It's been a really enjoyable process, very tedious though. So I'm going to take a break, like I said, but more content on the way. This next era of music is going to blow everyone's mind, I hope. I'm tapping into a side that I have not explored yet, and it's going to be awesome. New song super soon. By the time I release this video, I'm feeling pretty confident, if that gives you a hint. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Make sure to check out And Now My Feature Presentation Volume 1 on all your favorite streaming platforms by your boy. You know it's Ike. I'll see y'all around.
All black jeans as I stand in place. Time moves fast, but I haven't changed. I hold on, hoping I get saved. Please, Lord God, take this pain away.